Good evening. Hang on, that's not working properly. Excuse me. Good evening, and welcome back to my Dwarven Fortress of Keskalokil, of Esmulrakust, where we haven't been for a week and a half or so, because everything ended up happening at the wrong times of day, plus my friend Claire is playing Blueprints and keeps doing that at the times when I might otherwise be dwarvening, and other times too. So yes, I left my fortress in the middle of an elven siege, our first official elven siege. Every previous time the elves have turned up, they just sneaked up to the fortress and surprised us. But this time we were actually ready for them, in that they announced their arrival. I think there have still been a couple of dwarven deaths, so we clearly need to make things a bit more efficient. And as I recall, at the point where we left this, we still had the front gate closed, the front entrance to the fortress closed, but we have like sealed everything up internally. So I think we were just about to invite the elves back in order to kill the rest of them. So yes, I think that means I mostly unpause and see what happens, and probably open the front drawbridges, or at least one of them, in order to encourage the elves to come in and get slaughtered. We did have someone get shot by elves because a master bowman elite bowman can easily shoot through these gratings. That was not a grating, is it? No. So, any elves coming to say hello? If not, maybe I need to tempt them in a bit more. Where are they anyway? One moment, I just need to do a couple of other things. Right. So yes, where are those invaders? If we look at that one, say, are they in a useful group out here? Okay, yes, they do appear to be mostly just running around fairly randomly in the fields. Oh, some of them have become visible. You can tell that, I think, because we've started shooting them again. Oh yes, here is an elf getting shot vigorously. And now they're dead. See, if you will wear a wooden helmet, you will find that people shoot you through it. Oh, there's a great big quantity of humans down there. Are they going to do anything? I think they are, even though we haven't got a... So the siege operator on this catapult is doing a pretty decent job as well. That seems to be that squad. I mean, there are plenty of them still alive, but they aren't coming close to the entrance at the moment. That's odd. Usually those jobs only turn up, the render fat jobs only turn up because there's some fat to render. Another human came too close to the front door. That's it. There's one wandering around down there. Ooh. Dealt with that one. What's that, incidentally? Oh, it's someone's ear. We should possibly dispose of that at some point. So, I mean, the enemy are coming close to the entrance, even though we haven't got the entrance open. And it certainly seems better to kill people without having to open the front door than to open the front door and give them a possible chance of getting in. And conveniently, they seem to be coming up to the front door one at a time. Here comes another. Oh! I think that was someone else shooting at our siege operator. Yes. And there's a good reason why our siege operators are armoured. So I think it's only very close to the end that there's like that arrow, which does cause a slight injury to the hip of the poor siege operator. And then one that's blocked with the shield and one that's dodged. And then the human bowman got like, well, one human bowman got fairly comprehensively killed shortly after another one got at least somewhat injured. So there's another incoming arrow, I think. Yes, another kumquat wood arrow. Which I think missed. Yes. So then the siege operator starts shooting back. I think that might be the human who's causing the trouble. I'm a bit confused because those... Right, yes, it is someone 1Z level up whose finger has just come off. And advancing, don't seem to be able to shoot anymore, possibly owing to lacking a finger. I suspect that makes using a bow. Which hand was it? Hard to tell. They've been shot like... They've got an awful lot more crossbow bolts in them now than they had before. And no armour left. Oh, right, yes. Lost hold of their bow before losing a finger, indeed. At which point I would suggest that retreating is probably your best hope. Not standing there and getting shot repeatedly. Okay, there's a nice new object. His name is Ramol Dolok, the Euphoric Obstacles. It's a coffee wood ring, and as is so often the way, all cross dwarfship paws is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round shale cabochons. Oops. Shale cabochons, that's really very disappointing. Decorated with tunnel tube, which is a kind of purple underground wood, and encircled with bands of rectangular porcelain cabochons. I suppose that could work. And alpaca wool. The object is adorned with hanging rings, it's a ring itself, of tiger leather, and menaces with spikes of porcelain and copper. On the item is an image of Nicot Pridecalls the giant and Ingils Boltsfog the dwarf in coffee wood. Ningot Pridecalls is making a plaintive gesture. Ingis Boltsfog is striking a menacing pose. The artwork relates to the mortal wounding of the giant Nicot Pridecalls by the dwarf Ingils Boltsfog with an iron bolt in filled tombs in the early winter of 129 during the rampage of the giant Nicot Pridecalls in filled tombs. That's presumably Ingils Boltsfog, siege operator. On the item is an image of Aban Chamber Legends, the dwarf, and a cave dragon in jaguar leather. The cave dragon is striking down Aban Chamber Legends. The artwork relates to the killing of the dwarf Aban Chamber Legends by a cave dragon in the Hills of Attacking in the early winter of 54 during Tospas Ustrok, the strifeful battle. So that was not something that we saw. So it has two images of it, some spikes, some hanging rings, two different kinds of spikes, some bands of this, that and the other, and I've lost the hanging rings now. Tiger leather, right, leather rings hanging off it, spikes of porcelain and copper. So yes, that's a very entertaining object, thank you. Right, has that human bowman at the front gate been killed yet? No. They're probably dead now, though. That certainly looks like a fairly fatal quantity of crossbow bolts. Another batch of attackers we didn't know about has turned up. Elf limps across the battlefield and gets mown down. Really, you shouldn't be here. If you're going to be here, you should do it in greater numbers. But right now, we haven't opened the front door. You should be standing somewhere nearby or digging away in it, except you haven't brought any digging implements with you. I'm thinking I might actually take you off duty and send someone else, because you seem like you need to go to the hospital, and it's not like we have a shortage of siege operators. So I'm going to release you, I hope. Can I take you off the job explicitly? You're seriously injured. Get to the hospital. Is someone else coming to fetch you? There is at least a task that's essentially get this dwarf to a hospital. Yes, recover wounded. Come here, you're coming to the hospital whether you like it or not. P.S. We're going to put your ear in the rubbish and your various spare teeth if someone can get up here to pick them up. Let's try to keep this place a bit tidy. Don't know why you've left your socks there either. Okay, apparently Tun, while I wasn't looking, got a ludicrous name. Full name, Tun Lolokshigos Urolakrul Sastres Id, which means Tun Granite Pact, the Closed Tin Princess of Rock. He feels restless after being able to rest and recuperate. That's why you insisted on staying on duty even when you really didn't need to. I mean, admittedly, no one else has come on duty to replace you. Well, let's assign this person to the task then. As an accomplished siege operator, they should do a tolerable job. Meanwhile, people are collecting up Tun's various spare teeth for disposal. And we have spotted another ambush, by which we mean an elf has foolishly wandered up to the front door. What are you carrying? That's some hematite. I'm not sure you should be throwing that. Oh well. I mean, it feels a bit silly to be doing this without opening the front door, but if the attackers are just going to walk past, at least until such point as we stop killing them each time they come past, we may as well carry on trying. So what's our... Yeah, since the front door's closed, we can release that. We can pause the... we can pause the burrow that's keeping everyone indoors. Yes, quite a lot of the crossbow bolts do not hit. Especially when dealing with fast-moving creatures like leopards. Like, the catapult does at least hit on most of its shots. slow-moving creatures tend to be quite effectively demolished by bolt throwers. Puppies! Here comes a leopard. I think it survived. The animals, war animals, do tend to get past. Mostly. But not always. Not like we're going to export anything in the near future. There do seem to be a bunch of tigers and humans running around just out of range of the bolt thrower. And sadly our supplies of rock for feeding the catapult are a bit short. Plus we just keep hurling... I think that was someone who fell down into the moat and got repeatedly shot, yes, and is currently halfway down the stairs into the moat, regretting their life choices. You don't seem to have a shortage of crossbow bolts yet, that's nice. One of the oddities is that the bolt thrower operators will generally not shoot someone who's unconscious. Oh dear, there's a quantity of miasma going on. We should fix that. There's no actual reason why we don't let our people into the Barbican at the moment, because we're not letting their people into the Barbican. So let's temporarily take that bolt thrower off active duty and open the inner drawbridge and work out what's rotting and dispose of it. There really shouldn't be anything rotting down here. I thought I'd disposed of all the things that could rot. I mean, there's a tooth there. There's something in the enormous number of objects on this square? No. It looks densest over here. That's all open space. Sorry, this is now going quite quiet as I try to find something rotten. So there's a tooth there. That's really not going to be it. We're 4 in from the left edge. But while we're here, let's dump it anyway. Another tooth in that square. 2 more teeth. Like elf teeth are not particularly valuable, so. Can't see anything rotting there. Possible something's got stuck in a trap. I think things can rot in traps. In which case we'll need to wait for the trap to be cleaned. And it's not up here. Well, let's, if nothing else, unforbid everything down there. Simon says, this seems like the kind of room that Hercules would clean by temporarily diverting a nearby river into it, and maybe that would have worked in Keskalokil. It would, yes. You could totally move stuff around by water. Uzol seems to have passed out. That's kind of embarrassing. You're injured too, are you? Oh dear. Right, yes, you got shot in the head with an arrow. What are you wearing? Are you actually... Oh, I've probably stuck you in as a thing without sticking you in the military at the same time. You're not wearing any armour. Right, we should fix that. Bit late, but still. The engineer regains consciousness and notices the presence of someone out there who wants shooting, but then quite sensibly runs away. That's fine. Are you going to go and rest? That will be good for you. elves coming in bearing teeth. Right. Okay. Let's reinstate our other legendary siege operator. So do we have any clean trap jobs going on? Have clean self. And clean patient. No sign of clean trap. Tun is now coming back, having been presumably patched up. Yes, has a crutch owing to an injured knee. At least appeared to be coming over to help. You do at least have some useful armour, don't you? Yes. See, the thing is, when you shoot one of our bolt throwers, my dear elves, we take them back and patch them up before we send them back out again. But you can't do that because you haven't brought a field hospital with you. Aha, we've seen the centre of the miasma is apparently here. Aha, a rotten mangled corpse, right. Can we extract it from that weapon trap? Probably. Don't know why that didn't trigger a clean trap task. But that should now be a little less prone to generating miasma. It took a lot of shots to stop that human who was just happened to be going past. So how are our number of people doing? Still a pretty decent number out there, aren't there? Oh, here come a great big mob. Or Rith Ledinal, stray cat brackets tame, has adopted Zon Astod Konos, dwarven child. I mean, strictly we don't yet know how many enemies are alive because we possibly haven't seen them all yet. Like, we do still get the occasional ambush announcement. I think it's been decided that we need to refill the ammo stockpile. Like half of the dwarves are here just refilling this place with crossbow bolts. They seem to have finished now. Presumably they'll come back again once we've used some more. Oh, someone shooting inwards. While unfortunately our siege operator is busy reloading. You're getting good at using a shield. Competent shield user. That'll probably do. How long is it going to be before you're ready to fire again? You're only at 28 bolts and I think you might be loading them one at a time. "29 bolts. You can load one in the time it takes you to get shot by one, it looks like. Still, this will be helping with your shield skills. And consuming the enemy's ammunition. I'm going to assume that most of these... Actually, but let's watch this dwarf's combat log. Ooh, slight bruising from that arrow. Oh, the messages have stopped. What's going on? How's your shield skills now? Still only competent with the shield. How's your reloading coming? Oh, nearly finished. Right, well, there's a convenient human swords bod out there. Was. Elf Elite Bowman has decided that to withdraw before the bolt thrower is fully loaded. Sensible person. Unlike someone else who got shot in the liver. You're just ill. Why does the Syrups of Starting only have 2 members? Maybe the others are all trying to be fixed by the whatever they're called in this one. Buttery brunch. That was fairly effective. Single headshot it looked like. Reload. So the elves get a chance to move around unhindered. Taking full advantage of it by walking straight across the front of the front door. One of them is going to be surprised. So I'm slightly concerned that last I looked we had a place item in Tomb Job pending. For Activity Zone 238. Can I even identify activity zones by number? Which makes me think that someone's tomb, there's someone we're trying to bury up here somewhere. Oh well, we'll probably find them when they start haunting us. Yeah, there's definitely a bit of things go well if we manage to shoot the uh, humans before, or the elite bowmen before they start shooting at us. No, we can't specify target priorities. That would be much too helpful. The dwarves attack who they feel like attacking. I mean, they may well attack those who are more threatening first. You've wandered off. What are you going off to do? Fill your water skin. Okay. Do we have someone else who's going to come and take over? Looks like it, yes. Possibly we should start having multiple bolt throwers at the front entrance for more rapid death. That human just walked straight past and you missed with every shot. Maybe we should start improving the fortress a bit rather than watching all this killing. How does our... I noticed a few needs lignite messages. How are we organising work orders for that? Alright, that's not actually going to fire again anyway, but we may be a bit short of lignite. Sure, we've got some down in the caverns somewhere we could do a bit of mining of. Mining is, after all, fairly safe. There are a lot of them kind of wandering around out there. That's odd. Already forgotten where that lignite mine was. Wonder if it might be a good idea to like recruit some more siege operators. Now our invaders are shooting at the local wildlife. Possibly they think the front entrance to the fortress is actually too dangerous and we should start luring them in. Is that enough? Yeah, that's enough lignite to at least finish off that task, that job. That will be enough. Right, let us temporarily pause or unpause the main burrow and close the inner drawbridge. Then we'll open the outer drawbridge in order to tempt the elves in because they're being too slow fundamentally. Yes, the trap room is temporarily miasma free, so we're going to let some more elves into it. Oh, we should thus enable the bolt thrower down there, shouldn't we? If no one comes to staff it soon, I will... Alright, no, someone has taken it upon themselves to do so. So this should lure more creatures in, including apparently a war tiger and some leopards. Ooh, a few more have been detected. Those elven swords aren't too bad. One of them managed to behead a leopard there. Ooh, someone is blocking again. Are you injured and in need of... No, I don't think so. Those guys do appear to be shooting at them. Let us, in the interests of entertainment, reclose that drawbridge. I mean, that's some pretty good blocking, but not entirely successful. You're probably going to want a trip to the hospital. getting pretty good with the shield though. It's beginning to, yeah. Someone got your ear, didn't they? Yes. I think I'm going to have you abandon your post for now. Because I think you're getting shot too much. And we're closing the drawbridge again for safety anyway. You are getting better at like armour and there's still only a novice armour user. Pretty good with a shield though. Presumably you're about to disappear down the stairs. At some point this drawbridge is going to open, yes. And Thilu Mistybeaks, human bowman, along with the largest quantity of random armour, is hurled into the air. And then lands fairly heavily on the ground, but not in a way that actually causes serious injury. There are a few elves down here, which is part of why I wanted to do that. So they seem to be doing fairly well at getting inside. So let us suggest that the truthful wheels actually consider themselves on duty for a moment. Since there are some invaders quite close to actually being inside the fortress. Oh look, you're in a cage. No one else has made it, have they? No. He feels hateful after being confined. Yes, sorry. You should probably like have someone come and insist that you come to the hospital. Let's dispose of the spare body parts as usual. I think Uzol may not actually have any teeth left. I think we do only believe in back teeth, front teeth, and possibly in canines. So if dwarves have the same dentition as humans, then that's all. Then they would have 4 of each back tooth location, and 4 upper front teeth and 4 lower front teeth. That's clearly not the case, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 upper front teeth. I wish to point out I left that bolt thrower set to not be reloaded yet. Yeah, there is a horse somewhere in the trap system. Yes, there. No, that's a leopard. Was a leopard. Yes, there's the horse. I'm not going to risk. I mean, I'd like to dispose of some of the rubbish from the Barbican now that we filled it back up again with rotting stuff, or at least potentially rotting stuff. But we do need this horse killed, really. Oh, we should release the truthful wheels. Actually, the horse, I observe, is a horse, not a war horse. I don't think you can have a war horse, in fact, so it probably won't attack us anyway. Which will be why we're not bothering to shoot it, even when it comes round, briefly. Though, admittedly, the bleeding will probably kill it in due course. Yes, there we go. So I think there's probably no one left alive in the Barbican now. So I think we should do another round of Barbican cleaning. So that's... that tooth may be stuck in that bolt thrower for now. There isn't actually that many dead elves kicking around, are there? That the square I just did. Oh, yes. Leopards will get butchered. Possibly I can rely on corpses appearing in the like visible spectrum, something like that. Though there is going to need to be. Don't know that we're going to bother with parts of a leopard though. Some trap cleaning. There's going to need to be some trap cleaning as well. Don't think we bother with horses. Well, let's see what happens. Right, so beginnings of clearing things out. Suspect the attackers are going, why aren't they defending the main entrance anymore? Mostly we have plenty of other things to do. Including extracting your mangled corpses from our weapon traps. You can see the tigers and leopards being brought over here for butchery so that we can produce parts that can be used for things like decorating artifact rings and anything else that needs decorating. We don't generally bother butchering anything less than a complete, or at least a reasonably complete carcass. So random paws just get dumped. Thank you. Not sure why you're naming a maple buckler, but if you want to, that's fine. Lots of bits of animals. Oh, a masterwork's been lost. I wonder what that was. Oh, possibly like crossbow bolt or something? I don't know. We've not got a shortage of them. Oh, the siege is officially over. Okay, yes. What's happened is some elves with bits of crossbow bolts stuck in them have left. Right, well, let us try to tidy up a bit before I go to bed. This will all be like fairly tedious admin. So siege engines to keep loaded, except that we should be practicing with the practice one. Outer drawbridges open, inner drawbridge is already open, Barbican Wagon Bridge covered up. Siege operators non-exclusive. That is already paused. Do we have any livestock that of our own that need to be pastured? We do have one goat that needs to be pastured, so that might mean that we need to well, we need to assign the said goat to a pasture, which is now unpaused anyway. We should see what's happened to our prisoner. They're still there, which probably means we need the this stockpile to be able to take humans. Does that mean all the dwarves are now quite happy because she felt triumph after the forces of the White Saffron were defeated at Filled Tombs? Because this was actually an official siege and therefore it can be officially won. The traps down here are apparently really exciting. Right, so now the various elf and human corpses probably want to be marked for dumping, as they're fairly easy to recognise on this list. Obviously we don't dump dwarf corpses, those get buried usually. That's a rotting jaguar corpse and hence not useful. I mean, we could wait for it to finish rotting and then butcher it as a skeleton, but it doesn't really seem worth the effort. And it'll probably make people unhappy if they find it, because it'll stink. Slightly concerned about you, but that looks like a dwarven name, so I won't worry about it very much. In particular, rotten elf and human corpses we want to get rid of. I suppose for ease of seeing what's going on, I could perhaps start hiding objects in the Barbican. Don't know if that's a good idea. Do we now have a stupid number of dump item tasks, among other things? I don't know, only a moderate number of dump item tasks at the moment. I'm now thinking of the Trojan horse and how we're now dragging all of this stuff into the fortress. Is this truly wise? What if some of it comes back to life? It won't. So yes, we have mostly configured things so that items are not automatically forbidden in these circumstances. So most of the items down here will now not need to be carefully unforbidden. That's one of our dwarves. I mean, they're still alive, so I suppose we still dump their teeth. That square is full of forbidden items, though. So what did I do? How have we got those standing orders set up at the moment? Oh, that seems about right. Okay, yes, you guys are reloading the arrow traps. Occasionally someone delivers a big cat to the to that stockpile for recycling. I'm like spotting body parts that I think can be safely trashed. There do seem to be a surprising number of forbidden items out here. Not anymore. dispose of a few spare toes. People keep leaving their digits lying around. It's very unhappifying. Yeah, we had claim others' death items, but we don't seem to actually be getting them properly claimed, which is kind of weird. Yes, all the skeletons are marked for dumping. It's just going to take a little while to get them all indoors. Someone threw away a perfectly good jaguar corpse there. I wonder what happened. Maybe I got confused. Yes, we are throwing a lot of objects into the rubbish. Yes, the repeater still seems to be working properly, so that should be fine. Presumably, yeah, I think there's still a bit more loading of weapon traps to go. And like an awful lot of armour down there. Horse skeletons, not very valuable. Someone's toe, which I've failed to mark for dumping. But that seems to be much of the tidying up done, which is nice. Like most of their dead have now been appropriately crushed in our atom smasher. Apart from the ones that were valuable enough to do something with, many of whose bits are now here waiting to have things happen to them. So we can probably dump the bits that are not worth keeping, that we can't either eat or carve into. Anything useful or decorative. I'm slightly concerned at the way that we can tell whether nervous tissue is mangled after we've got it out of their body. We have got a lot of bone here. We should probably be like trying to put more effort into making things out of bone, but or at least into decorating things with bone. But for now, I think we have more or less finished that siege. Yes, Pinkbee says it sounds like it would usually be mangled at this point. Precisely. My suspicion is that it's marked as mangled leopard, like nervous tissue, if they got killed in such a way as to damage the nervous tissue, like shot in the spine or whatever. But that seems a bit silly, given that, as you say, once you've got it out, it's probably going to be pretty mangled anyway. Right, I think since it is 20 to 1, it is probably, and we have nicely tidied this up, it is probably time to go to bed. And oh, there's that goat that needed a pasture. Good. And we will might come back to this on Sunday. It's quite likely, and we'll see how things go from there, where some new entertainment might be awaiting me. So I will save for now and say good night. If I can find the correct button for that, here it is. Good night.